Imagine being one of those people that worked into developing these technologies.
Walked into what?
Like developing like the technology that allows Twitter to exist, and it's like, oh, it's gonna be like people are going to use it to
The
exchange
forefront
ideas
of
and
human communication, the
yeah, and
enrichment of
like
society through the, and it's
and
just castrate white males. I stood in line for my Starbucks coffee and I ran out of coffee beans and can't. Yeah. I don't fucking know. White silence is white violence. Blacks cannot be racist because racism equals power plus prejudice, and black people do not have power.
yeah, that's one of the weirdest ones I've run into. I'm like, do you expect me to buy this? And then I looked into some videos of one guy basically just holding um like a stand, hosting a stand, and taking people's opinions on whatever statement in a university, and everyone in the university like literally repeats the same line.
Oh no.
One of the faggots shows up. By the way, one of them is a professor, by the way, and it's like, I think you shouldn't be hosting this here because you're probably what do you call it, gonna harm someone. I'm like, this is university, you fucking retard. Where do you work? And then I find out that this is actually a professor in the university. I'm like, yeah, there's no hope anymore, is there?
University is the last place you would send your fucking kids. Funniest part is, if you know where to look on YouTube, you can get much better education on the internet. You can paying tens of
Yeah,
thousands of dollars
a lot of the
and
stuff I
wasting
learned.
5 years of your life.
Yeah, a lot of stuff I learned. Not even just YouTube. Like, there's a shit ton of people explaining things online for free, and
Yeah,
all you
and
have to do is just read.
they're
Like,
doing it so effectively with like imagery. What do you call it? Because it's videos, isn't it? They can actually display
yeah,
a video
yeah,
of like a
visual.
moving cross section, or you can understand a steam engine, for example, with a video in 5 minutes.
Yeah, there's one guy I think on YouTube called Practical Engineering. I think he basically what he does is like one of the things I'm curious about, even though I don't know shit about, is cars because engines and moving parts and stuff go brr.
Mm.
Um, and one of the things that I wanted to understand is transmission because I never really understood like why moving the stick from point A to point B makes the
Yeah,
car
that's what I
go
do. You just
faster
watch a
or like
video,
have more torque or
and it'll
something.
show you different gear ratios.
Yeah, and it's like, yeah, well, basically, gear is basically just a rotating levers, and
Yeah,
if the big lever is moving the small lever, you're gonna have more power. Um, but if you what do you call it? If the what do you call it? If a small lever is moving a big lever, you're gonna have what do you call it? More rotations, I guess, or like
well, the gear, all it does is it's kind of like a transformer for electricity, where if you have really high voltage and current, you can transform that into really high current and really low voltage. What a gear does is, depending on the size of the gear in relation to the size of the one it's linked to. So you've got a really small one that spins really fast.
yeah,
Um,
and that basically like
it will have a
transfers
lot of
into
torque.
yeah, it would have a lot of torque. Basically because you're transferring like
and then the big gear linked to that one will move much slower, but it will move.
What do you call it? Longer distances.
Yeah, so like a lever, you exchange distance for power,
Yeah,
which is like turning force, which is called torque.
I believe, yeah, if you what do you call it? It's kind of exactly what you said. So if you drag the what do you call it? If you like get a lever and drag the middle point all the way near you, like where your hand is, you're going to have to put more power to lift the things on the far end. Um, well, like for example, like you can lift 2 pounds with 1 pound if you put that 1 pound 3/4 of the distance, while the 2 pounds is like 1/4 of the distance on the lever
I think you
or
mean the
lever,
other way
whatever
around.
you
So if
call
you've
it.
got something you need to rotate, let's say it's a stone block and it weighs a ton, and you're just trying to like rotate it 90 degrees.
Yeah.
If you try and push it from a corner, you're gonna get nowhere with it because it weighs 1,000 kilograms. But if you have, let's say, a 50-meter long lever and you attach it to the top of the stone block, you're going to need to push it gently to move the stone block
Hmm.
because you're 50 meters away. But the catch is you're going to have to move, you're 50 meters away, so what is that, like pi r squared times 50? I don't know. No, that's the area.
That's the further apart you are, the less power you're gonna need
But the
um,
catch is you have
from
to
your
move.
end, and the more power you generate on the other end.
Yeah,
But there's a
so
catch,
with
and I forgot what
gears,
it is, and vice versa. The catch works sort of all the way around.
that's conservation of energy. So if you're moving further, the reward is you move more forcefully.
No.
And if you're moving a shorter distance, the punishment is it's going to take more energy to push something. But yeah, with gears, you can define that as a ratio. So if one gear has 20 teeth and then another gear has 100 teeth, the ratio of teeth is 1 to 5. So the one with more teeth will move 5 times slower, but 5 times more forcefully, or with
Yeah, it
it'll
will
have five
have
times the
more
torque.
lifting power behind it. Let's call it that. You can just call it lifting power, uh, or torque as they refer to it. Which is why, like, if you're on like a steep incline when you're driving, you go to the lower gears because they can apply more torque,
Yeah,
uh, which translates to higher capability or higher leverage power that can then move your car even though it's on a very steep hill. Yeah, but I mean, that's a lot of stuff that you can find online, just visualized. And some people like
yeah, like
can,
you can learn about combustion engines with I'm not sure what it's called. It's like a cross section that moves, and it
yeah,
actually shows you with different colors, like the piston cycles.
yeah,
Like it'll show you it draws in air. It'll show you the part where the piston moves up to inject fuel, and the explosion forces the piston down. And you can see like the further the piston is away from the crankshaft, the more torque the engine itself generates. Um, so it's extremely intuitive to use a video. And then you're sitting at school, and if you specifically want to learn about diesel engines, tough shit.
yeah, because they're not
Maybe you're
gonna.
lucky it's on the syllabus for that year.
Yeah, I mean, not even that, because like you have a teacher that only deals with, that deals with about 30 faggots in the class, and
Yeah.
half of those
So
30 faggots, if not more than those, is just wasting time and troublemaking. And the teacher is just gonna get exhausted because he have to deal with about 5 sessions of this at least a day or more,
mm,
and he's just gonna lose morale, where I think the older approach were like, families used to have professions that, they would teach down to their kids over time. And doesn't matter if the kid is retarded or not, the parent know their child for the most part, and they figure out how they can, you know, teach them things. Oh fuck.
Well, a
Uh,
huge thing that's you'll never see in school, which you'll see to a high degree at home, is patience. Like you're a
yeah,
dad, you love your son, and that like fatherly love translates to a very high degree of patience. But you come
yeah,
to school, there's some fucking retard on his phone, and you're like, do you want to be here or not? Just fuck off.
yeah.
Um,
And another thing is that what do you call it? Like, there's multiple styles of teaching, and the problem with school is that it locks you in. It's basically prison. It's like a discount prison where you can
mm,
leave, but only after the lectures are over. And it doesn't really care very much about how well you learn the thing. Because again, it really is like the reason schools were made is because of the factory, worker demand. When the industrial revolution happened, you know, people need factories started appearing, and they needed people with a specific degree of education to know how to deal with the machines, and so schools were born, and the teenager was born as well with it. If you remember that one video that we talked about.
yeah, instead of, oh, you're 12, get in the factory.
Yeah. No, it's like you're 12. Well, we're gonna keep you in. We're gonna keep referring to you as a child. Even though
Mm.
you technically, you're
Yeah,
grown
you
up.
used to be
You,
an
you know.
adult when you were 12, but now you have to wait until you're 18 and you've been
Yeah.
appropriately indoctrinated by the system.
Yeah. It's just you're fit to get into the factory, and once you're ready to get into the factory, well, now you're an adult. Surprisingly, because school is over. So yeah, that also happened. But the problem is that we're beyond factories, if you will. Or now the system produces non-factory jobs. Oh, you're in there.